Debunked! No evidence of God, deconverted, dunked.
Lots of people say there's no evidence for God. Well, we're going to knock that one out in three. I'm just going to have to keep it simple, throw in the old 1-2 combo, get in and out real quick, and let you fine folks chat all about it, okay?
Whoa. Hold on. I've seen this video before. I've seen this exact video before on some other channel at some point. How could this be possible? How could it be that I've seen this video before? Well, time to do some digging. Well, it seems that Workshop House Media has several different apologetic resources for Christians that are available. This particular episode is a low price of $18 for one episode. But you can also get all 6 episodes for $12 on a different website. So, what a bargain. It went from $18 for one episode to $12 for 6 episodes.
Punch one I'm going to call the info uppercut. When's the last time you walked into a library and asked, hey, where are all the books that have been written by mindless products of natural laws?
And I'm going to stop you right there. Equivocation. The word information is not being used in the same way for what you want to use it for. This is nothing but a straw man. This is nothing but a misunderstanding of DNA and how that works. Learn science. But this video is not aimed at the scientifically literate. This is not aimed at skeptics. This is aimed at other believers. This is aimed at people who already believe, and this is something for them to buy and consume in church groups. So it's quick, it's fast, probably for youth groups to get, oh yeah, we can now reinforce our beliefs with this. And it's not really meant for a critical mind. And putting it on YouTube is great because then we can debunk the bleep out of it. So, no to all this. Learn science.
Number 2, only a mental source, intelligence, can generate new creative information. In other words, just like those books that couldn't originate without a mind, neither could life. Why not, you ask? Because we know that DNA contains information. Therefore, the laws of information science apply, which means the information in DNA couldn't have spontaneously generated, and that a mind is behind the information.
And no one says what you said that they said, so this is a straw man. The information didn't just come out of nowhere. DNA did not just appear. It evolved over time to the state that we have. And that took some time. Now, I know that this nitwit doesn't believe in evolution, nor does they understand evolution, nor do they want to understand evolution, because that would ruin this argument. This whole argument relies on you not knowing anything about evolution, not knowing anything about DNA, and simple assertion, bald assertion, that's it.
Period. No exceptions. Look at it this way. The simplest life form we know of is an amoeba, and it contains as much information in its DNA as 1,000 complete sets of Encyclopedia Britannica. So, are we to believe that there's no way a message in a library book could spontaneously generate, but far more complicated messages in DNA that contain 1,000 times more information could have?
No one claims that it's spontaneously generated. That's your claim. Nobody claims that. It's just this giant straw man that you've made. You're arguing against a straw man. That's it.
And guess what? In the very first book of the Bible, it just happens to mention that. In the beginning, God created. Bam.
In Hinduism, the day of Brahma is considered to be 4,320,000,000 years, and it's said that a universe lives or lasts at least that long. Now, the universe we think has been about 13 billion some odd years old, so we know it's already surpassed this number, but they got at least a very large number that's far closer, relatively speaking, than not giving any number at all. The Bible just says in the beginning. It doesn't say when that beginning began. Also, what's interesting about the cosmology, or rather lack thereof, cosmology in the Bible is you have actually two different creation mythos taking place in different places in Genesis. You have one timeline where things are created in a certain order, and then you have a different timeline where things are created in a completely different order.
The law of causality, left hook of doom. It goes like this. Everything that had a beginning had a cause.
And this is just the long cosmological argument, which I already did a video on called KCA, so go watch that video. Alright, let's just see if I can summarize the rest of this nonsense in real time. Let's see, nobody claims that nothing did it, although nothing could do it. We don't really know what nothing is. Yes, things just explode. That's not really exact. Okay, wait, hold on. Yes, no, that's not. It's space is expanding into. You don't. It's not really an explosion. Okay, hold on. No, I mean, okay, you don't know that the cause of law of effect continues into the universe itself. What in the bleep are you? What? Stop it! No, wait. Sue you? Why? With the Bible? Wait, what? Since the creation of the world, that didn't even make sense. How can something invisible be seen? That's completely incoherent. That Bible verse, not only is circular reasoning because you haven't proven the Bible is anything useful, but also is incoherent because something invisible cannot be seen. There is no evidence for God. None of this is evidence of God. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, it was generated by a donation, and it's tax deductible too. Isn't that just great? Isn't that just fantastic? This load of bullshit is tax deductible. It's just wonderful. It's great. It's terrific. That doesn't piss me off. Yes, it does. It pisses me off a lot. I was going to say it doesn't piss me off at all, but it does. It pisses me off a lot. Okay, so if I was to show you a video of my door opening and then start to make all these claims about, well, we know that cause and effect is a thing, and then da-da-da-da-da, and this proves ghosts. That's evidence for ghosts. No, it's not evidence for ghosts. It's not even evidence that ghosts are a thing in the first place. Evidence of a thing is evidence of that dang thing. Not thing, well, these are things that point to the thing. Then that's not evidence of that thing in and of itself. So, is there evidence of God would mean that you show God. Not give an argument, but that you just go, here, this is God. There you go. That's what it is. But they can't do that because apparently God's invisible. Because why wouldn't it be? Of course, that begs the question how people see God throughout the Bible, which it says you can't see God and live, even though people do see God and live. Although they see parts of God, like sometimes they see Him and sometimes they don't. Jesus didn't come to break the law, but to fill it, but also all the laws are replaced. I mean, the whole thing is pretty contradictive. But the idea there's a thing that started it all is awfully compelling. Because we are so used to that idea in our everyday lives. Cause and effect is something that we can observe. So we go, well, it makes sense. If you just go back, it keeps going. Yeah, okay, well, maybe it just keeps going. Or maybe it doesn't. And they say, well, it doesn't, and God is the thing that started it all. Although God also goes back forever and ever. But that's okay. Why? Why do this sort of conjecture when the honest answer is, we don't know? And it might be the case that the universe came from something that we would label as nothing. Or it came from a literal nothing. And since that's not like anything that we've ever seen, we can't say that nothing can do nothing. Because we have no idea what nothing could or couldn't do, because a true nothing wouldn't even have rules that said that something couldn't come from it, because the moment you have rules, you have a something. But we don't know that that's the case either. But we do know that these arguments are horribly, terribly flawed, that there's no empirical evidence or repeatable test offered here, and certainly not a valid and sound argument, and because of that, we must be skeptical of your conclusions. Also, call the ref, because I'm pretty sure that half of those boxing moves were illegal, but I don't know anything about boxing, so are we even in a ring?